Hey up everybody, I've got to address something very quickly, which is that Barnsley going up and nobody seems to acknowledge that and nobody seems to understand where I'm coming from. If you look at anybody's predictions, if you look at like some of the more notable ones like Gab Sutton, or if you look at any like the big pages that have done the predictions, everybody and the dog has got Barnsley about 12th. And it's straight ass. And I'm here to put the record straight that this is not happening. And if we don't finish 6th at a minimum, I'll do whatever top comment says. There's no way on earth we don't get playoffs at least. I genuinely think with these predictions, right, people have just seen one bloke's thing. Can't be asked looking into business that we've done properly and just thought, yep, that'll do me. There's some big names in this league. We'll just say that Barnsley have dropped out because they've lost 4 players that are all crap anyway. That is literally the thought process that I think a lot of people have gone for. Because on the surface of it, yeah, we've lost 4 of his biggest appearance makers from last season. We've lost as top goal scorer in Callum. We've lost one of his good midfielders in Eyup. And if all you can be asked doing is taking off that top layer of looking into what Barnsley are this season and what the transfer business is, then that's just fantastic analysis. But Callum got 18 league goals, right? He got 1 in his last 19 games. 1. There are players in my Sunday League team that I would genuinely expect to get more out of. I think I personally would get a better record post-February than what Callum had for us. It were a pleasure of mine to see him leave. I was so glad to see Dawes smack his ass on the way out. I can't express how glad I am that he's gone. And he also didn't want to be here. Same as Herbie Kane, the big tubby custard. This isn't me speculating. Like, our assistant manager has come out and said that since we've got rid of some of these players that didn't want to be here, the atmosphere this season compared to last is a hell of a lot better. No coincidence when you get rid of them 2 lads that think they're much better than they are. Because one of them's gone to another League One team, and other one, if it weren't for having his dad's last name, it'd be non-league, but he's somehow gone to West Brom as 9th choice striker call. The only one that I were upset with, like transfer-wise, in outgoings this season, and one that I think to be fair, I'm not even that convinced that we'll miss him that much, but it is Jordan Williams, who's gone to Portsmouth. He'd been here ages, he always gave it his all, but we've got 3 right-backs at club. It means very little in grand scheme of things that he's left, I think, because the outgoings and the players that we've lost, I genuinely could not care less if I tried. I'm glad that half of them have gone. Like I said, the only one that I'm going to miss, I think, is Williams. But even then, I'm not end of world, is it? Then when you look at the incomings that we've got replacing from, obviously we had that Killian Lofthouse on loan at MK Dons. We got to playoffs last season in League 2. It was a right wing back. We had 2 right wing backs behind Jordan Williams anyway, and Jordan Williams was playing right centre back half at the time because Neil Collins was an absolute donkey. We've got that Genting from Blackburn, a left wing back, which we needed after Cadden had gone. It's obviously a position that we needed. I've not seen him properly yet, but Blackburn were more shocked than out that they let him go. So I'm taking that as a win. If Blackburn fans aren't happy to see him go and they thought we were going to be like backup or that maybe they pushed on a bit this season, then I'm happy that he's come here. We've brought both Urian and Roberts back. Both ex-Reds. Experience, which is something that we've lacked massively for years and years. 2 lads that know club like back of the hand. Both got experience with promotions. Urian's got experience with multiple promotions and experience in Premier League. It's something that other clubs have got that's dragged them over the line in certain games that we haven't had for a while now. They know how fans work. They know everything about this place. They're very sensible signings. They'll not be on a lot of money realistically because they'll both be back into the career. They'll take on wage cuts to come here with the hope of maybe like coaching stuff like Urian's got nailed on here with coaching. Like I think he is a coach at Barnsley in general. Roberts might want to go down a certain route afterwards as well, and they know that they're going to get it here. So very sensible signings. So that's left wing back covered now with Gent coming in from Blackburn. That's depth in centre mid and centre half with Roberts and Urian. We've got Matty Craig on loan from Spurs, who were at Donny last season. He went there in January, and that's when they started the 40-game winning streak. So it's a definite upgrade on Kane, who couldn't be asked getting into second gear half at time because he weighs 17 stone. But Craig coming in now means that we can push Connell further up. So we've got Craig sat in a 6 with Phillips and Connell either side. That is best midfield in league. I don't care what anybody says. And Connell can play 6, 8, 10. He can play 8. He can play 7. Honestly, it should be 99 number because he can do absolutely everything. But Connell being further up and doing Kane's job, it could do a better job than Kane with one leg. Honestly, he's so much better. The Craig signing, I think, is serious top draw. And then we've also got Slanina in from Chelsea, a keeper that I think Chelsea spent about 10 million quid on him not long ago, about 2 years ago. And Barnsley going down a route recently, which I've noticed, where unless this Smith that we brought in, this keeper from Walsall, comes good, I don't think we'll ever actually own a number 1 again. Because we'll get a keeper in on loan from somewhere else, like Chelsea, because they've got 7, 8 goalkeepers anyway, aren't they? Any top lads that you can bring in. Because what is the point in owning a keeper? There's marginal difference that they can give you anyway between a very, very good one and a very bad one in terms of like the attacking games that they give you. And if someone like Chelsea or any of the big lads has got a keeper on the books, they're going to be a good shot stopper regardless. So unless you can land someone like maybe Cooper at Plymouth or a Patterson at Sunderland, who you might sell for money. You're never going to sell a goalkeeper for money. They always go on freeze every single time at lower league. So we might as well get a keeper who's better than what we can actually buy, especially when I saw... This is why I can never work for Barnsley, because I say what I actually think about some of the players that we've got. That kill it that we've got. Oh, man. Honestly. Oh, man. But we'll never be able to buy someone of Slanina, for example's caliber, ever. So might as well get him on loan from someone that's got 100 times better facilities and 10, 20 goalkeeping coaches that can make a better keeper than what we can ever get. So I love this, the Slanina sign, and I love that we're going to go down this route of getting loans in every year for number one. We do, however, definitely still need 2 forwards, right? And I've been told from many different people that I trust that we've as good as signed that Keeler done from Mansfield, who were the best player last season by an absolute mile. He got about 32 goal contributions, I think, from either 10 or like a second striker. Overnight, when the bet was 2-1, very, very sharp. He looked, by and large, their best player. His first touch, his passing, the movement, everything. He looked very, very sharp. He looked like the best player, and he looked like he knew that he was the best player as well, which I quite like. You need a bit of arrogance about you, don't you, as well? But after him, we still need another one. We cannot go into the season with Max Waters as his third choice. I'm sorry. There is just absolutely no way. I would love that Lincoln from... not Lincoln. I would love that Taylor from Lincoln, that striker who were on loan at Lincoln. And he's at Luton. He's called Taylor. He's from Luton. He were on loan at Lincoln. I think he was at Colchester first half of the season as well. He went to 2 teams for 8th season each, and he was top goal scorer at both. We get someone like him in, I'll be booking me tattoo in for League One champions, because honestly, he's fantastic. But firepower is definitely something that we're lacking, big time. But it's also no secret that that's what we're going to get. It's, as manager, the owners, the CEO, they've all made it very clear that we're going to go and get some signings, and that is definitely what we need. And I'm also not surprised in the slightest with some chances that we missed at home to Mansfield overnight. And going on to that game, I can't avoid it, can I? Yeah, we lost 2-1 in his first game. I literally could not care less. For a start, I thought Mansfield were quite good. I said before game they're going to be an hard team to beat because of what Cloughie is. They're not going to concede loads and loads of goals. Them, and I'm not worried. Honestly, I'm not worried in the slightest. It's first game we've lost. And what? First game last year we won 7-0. I didn't even get to go to Wembley. We scraped into playoffs onto last game. All the 3 seasons that Darryl Clark as manager has had promotion seasons, he didn't win any of them first games. Your first 5 genuinely mean nothing. Let's see where we're at in April and May when it actually matters, because your first 5-6 games, no, it's still pre-season. And I also thought that game overnight were better than anything that we played last season under Collins. Anyway, he who shall not be named. We were actually creating chances. We were a lot more direct. It were a joy to watch us actually try and play it forward, rather than playing it right back 70 passes to end up with a big lump anyway. At least this time, especially through middle, and this is why I like Matty Craig as well, because it's a 6 that actually wants to break lines a bit. It's not like last season we would very much play it right back, maybe go into midfield and then come back again. Matty Craig is one that'll pick ball up and he'll cut inside to someone like a Connell or a Phillips that are stood in front of him, which is 2 of the best midfielders in the league anyway. So I really like that. It's just a shame that the chances have fallen to Waters and Cosgrove, because if we had 2 serious strikers on against Mansfield, we could have had 5, 6, 7 goals. We had some very, very good chances that we weren't really making last season. Last season, it was much more about individual quality, an odd screamer from like a Phillips or a Connell, someone like that, that'd save you a game. This time, we actually look like we're going to create a lot of chances, and it'd be missing more of them than we should, which is another problem. But now that we've got that Slanina in net, we are 2 strikers away from giving me a rocket boner and giving me a super team. Because when I look at the other teams that are going to be near top, obviously you can write Birmingham off straight away because Birmingham are going to win league. It'd be more of a miracle if Birmingham didn't go up than anything. But with the other teams that's going to be around us, I think the biggest challenges to us are Bolton and Huddersfield. And honestly, you know, it's not like me to be biased. Okay, I would never do such a thing. I'm all about integrity over here. Lol. I think we're better than both of them. Genuinely, this is the most confident I've been going into any of these seasons that we've been in League One. The first time when we got relegated, I said we'd go up. I would say we'd go up if we had a full team of 12-year-olds. You know I would. But the first time when we come down, I thought offensively we very much lacked something. Last season, we had an absolute donkey in charge, and it went from one extreme to other, whereas defence were then the worst thing that I've ever seen, and we played a right back at right centre-half all season. I never addressed it once. This time, as long as we get 2 strikers in, which is a big if, but at the same time it's chumpy because of everybody's come out and said that we're going to get these strikers. So am I being naive for trusting as manager, as CEO, everybody that's got a voice for saying that we're going to get strikers in? If I'm being too naive, then it's on me, innit? But there's just no way we don't get some in. And if we do get 2 decent ones in, I think we're going up. Genuinely. I genuinely think we're going up. And I just wanted to make this because people's predictions for us not even being in playoffs are sending me a bit west. Genuinely, I am tweaking at some of the things that I'm seeing. With a weaker team last 2 years and finished in playoffs both times, there is no way that we are not 6th at an absolute minimum. Seriously. As someone that watches them every single week, I think in general, I might take it a bit too far saying like, oh, maybe we'll finish 2nd or something, we'll go up automatically. But there is no way on God's green planet that we do not finish 6th at least. I like the gaffer. I like that we've got rid of a lot of the overrated shite that we had, which is a lot of people's main reason for putting us so low in the predictions, is that we've lost these 4 players. They're all shit, especially Cole and Kane, and I'm good golly Miss Molly, am I glad that they've gone. It's a benefit that they've gone, not a hindrance that they've gone at all. We still need to get rid of Styles and all, little twerp, but once we've got rid of him, everybody with a rotten core is gone, thankfully, and everybody that's here wants to be here. So on top of me liking Gaffer and getting rid of a load of crap that we had, it's best we've played. Literally, that game against Mansfield is the best that we have played. Yeah, we lost. I could not care less. I would rather at start of season play quite well and lose than play absolutely honking ass and win, because eventually it'll catch up to you. Like it did last season. We started... Well, we didn't even play that well, really. We won 7-0. We could have been losing at half-time against Port Vale last season. Eventually, it'll catch up to you like it did with us. I would rather show signs of something being really good and maybe build something for the first couple of games before you start hitting them in. Like Portsmouth last season, they didn't start particularly well and they ended up pissing it. But I think if you're playing good early on, then results will come. And we played well. I genuinely think we're going up. Put all your predictions about Barnsley, if they're outside at top 6, in the nearest bin, please. Because that is the only thing worth listening to. If you have got Barnsley outside at top 6, you are lost. But Martin's come back to it in a year. I could not give a Scooby. We are getting playoffs at an absolute minimum, and I will not have anybody tell me otherwise. I am this club's biggest hater. But I will also be very fair when it's due, and I think that we are better than the last 2 seasons that we've got. And if we can get it playoffs with some crap that I've seen the last 2 years, then it's a minimum this time. Rant over. I just had to get it all off my chest, and I couldn't do it in a TikTok, so I wanted to do it here. Thank you all for watching as always. Reds are going up. We better do anyway because my career is on